Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about Imploder from Range of Light, out March 29th on Napalm Records. The album has 11 tracks and is 54 minutes in length. Alright, let me start by saying that this record is a Rubik's Cube of music. Absolutely, like everything that you can think of is thrown into this record. There's a blend of styles, of genres, of song structures, of different elements. I mean, it's so hard for you to sit down, listen to this record, and really wrap your head around it because it's so diverse, it's so dynamic. It's just absolutely impossible for anybody at a record store to find a category and slot this album in said category. They're gonna have to create a brand new category for Rage of Light. Absolutely incredible. The amount of elements that are thrown at you on this record is insane. It's just really a blend of everything, of symphonic metal, of power metal, symphonic death metal, melodic death metal, trance, techno, 80s pop, 80s metal, like new wave of British heavy metal. I mean, there's a little bit, if you really want to go song by song and dissect each song on the record, you're really gonna find a little bit of every single genre that I just mentioned, and perhaps even more on this record. The one constant element throughout the album is Melissa Bonney's vocals. Absolutely phenomenal. I honestly feel that there are two elements I have to mention about her voice. One is I really feel like the reason why the workings came out of Valhalla, if you will, is because of her voice. I really believe that her voice brought them back to life. That's one. Two, I really feel that you can grab her and drop her in the middle of any album, any song, any style, any genre, and she'll make that song, that album, 200% better. That's how good her voice is. That's how good her range is. That's how amazing her vocal performance is on this record. This is one of those records that if you don't know who she is before you start listening to this album, you will know who she is by the time you're done with this album. Absolutely invigorating, her performance. Incredible. I loved her voice on every single track. Now, one of the things that I felt about this record that perhaps will not resonate with some people is the lack of direction. I really felt that this album is not linear at all. Every song is 100% different from the previous and from the next one. There's not two songs alike on this album. From a structure perspective, from a lyrical content perspective, from everything to do with every single song on this record is absolutely different from the previous and from the one that follows it. So this album is not linear at all. It's extremely volatile. It's not even dynamic. It's volatile in nature because it just really offers you a different style of song, a different kind of song, song after song after song. Now, one of the things that I noticed listening to this record is it doesn't feel like the album has a path. To me, listening to the album from song 1 to song 11, the album really plays out as a greatest hits, if you will, where you pluck 11 of the best songs possible and you put it on a record. That's how this album feels. It doesn't feel to have a path, a structure, a start, beginning, middle, and end. It just doesn't feel that way to me. When you have this dynamic of a record, it's really hard to have that continuity throughout the record. Normally, what a band would do in order to add something, to add perhaps a rope through it that ties each individual songs together, is at least a common denominator in the lyrics, a theme within the lyrics of the album. So this album doesn't really have that, and because of that, it really becomes extremely volatile, and it doesn't have that path that you can feel when you sit down and you listen to it. You really feel like you're going down a road. You really feel like you're traveling with the band through their record. This album doesn't have that. It really plays out as the greatest hits. 11 amazing songs. It's an amazing overall record. Plays extremely well, really entertaining. Did I like it? I absolutely loved it. I vibrated with every single song because I really like what they've done vocally and from a structural perspective, and how they put these songs together and how they created really fun songs to listen to, really dynamic songs, and they really threw a lot of elements at you. So I really enjoyed that side of things. I just felt that it didn't have a path. At least for me, I didn't feel like it had a path, and like I said, it played out more like a greatest hits, if you will. Now, if you don't like one song, because of all of this, if you don't like one song, don't fear, don't worry. There's going to be another one coming right after that's going to be 100% different from the previous one. So from that perspective, it really allows the listener to find tracks throughout the album that you will connect with. It's not one of those records that if you don't like the first, the second, you're going to tune out after the third because you just don't feel connected to the record. This album won't do that to you because it really offers a wide range of wild styles, a wide variety of song styles and structures that will allow you to perhaps not like one song, but like the next 2 or 3 that come right after that. One extra thing I want to say before I start talking about some specific songs is I love the fact that they threw in Twilight of the Thunder God cover that they had done before. So I really like the fact that they threw in that track onto this record because I really like that track. I had heard that track before, so I really like that song. I really like that cover, and I'm glad that they added as the last track, track number 11 on the record. It was a nice, almost like it felt to me, almost like a bonus track at the end of the record. It's not a bonus track, it's part of the album, but it felt to me almost like a bonus track. I really like the fact that they added that song at the end of the record. It was a nice little cap at the end of the record. Speaking of which, the record starts with an instrumental track, Light, and I really like that they started off with an instrumental track that bleeds into the second track. I really feel like it added a sense of purpose and start to the record. So I like how they started the record with that instrumental track, and I like how they finished the record with the cover of Twilight of the Thunder God. I thought that from a structural perspective was really well done, and it really allowed for me to sit down and enjoy the record all the way through, and it enhanced the listening experience as far as I'm concerned. I like that little intro. The instrumental track Light is about 1.5 minutes or so, but it's enough to really set the tone. At least it sets the tone musically on what you could expect from this record going forward into the album. Now, as far as songs are concerned, I don't want to talk about songs that have been released already, and there's a lot of them on this record that have been released already as singles. So I try to pick 3 songs that haven't been released, but also 3 songs that spoke to me and that I connected with. First is Enraged. It's the second song on the album, but technically it's the first song because the first one is an intro, but it's the second song on the album. I love the dark keyboard melody and the partnership that it has with the heavy drums on this song. Melissa's vocals on this track, absolutely phenomenal. I love the beauty, but also the darkness that they add. Her voice on this track is the perfect companion to that keyboard melody. The two really feed off of each other. Both are extremely beautiful and melodic, but at the same time, they both have a little bit of a dark embrace to it, and that comes into the song. Her voice is extremely, not only dark, but haunting on this track, and it really adds atmosphere. It adds almost a cinematic vibe to the song. It really adds something different. It adds a different layer to the song. Using harsh vocals on this track, predominantly the track isn't clean vocals, but they use harsh vocals from Melissa and Jonathan. It's a nice little twist. It's a nice little break. It adds heaviness. The song has heavy moments to it, but using harsh vocals on a song like this really adds a little extra. It adds another level of heaviness to the song. Melissa's clean vocals in the chorus, absolutely incredible. The chorus of this song is absolutely phenomenal. It adds so much beauty, adds so much melody to the whole track. Incredible. Her voice, absolutely incredible. And when you have that good and that beautiful melodic clean vocals in the chorus, you really need those sprinklings of harsh vocals from both her and Jonathan to really give this song a little bit of an extra push, a little bit of an extra thickness to it. One last thing about this track is the solo. I absolutely love the solo on this song. Incredible. It added melody, but at the same time it did add a little bit of darkness, a little bit of a haunting factor to it. For a song that's very haunting in nature, from the keyboard melody to Melissa's vocals, the solo added to that. It was an extension of that vibe, of that feeling overall that the song has. Another song I want to talk to you guys about is In the Shadow. This one is very different from the previous song from Enrage. This one almost has more of an 80s power metal pop vibe to it. It starts off with this 80s feel sound synthesizer melody. And that melody kind of stays out throughout the song. It stays there, sometimes more in the forefront, sometimes more in the background. The song gets a little bit heavier from a guitar side, and the drums come together to give the song a little bit of heaviness. But that melody from the synthesizer stays there, in and out, is kind of in and out of the song, always giving that 80s pop power metal vibe to it, almost Eurovision vibe to the song. And this is what gives the song a lot of difference from the previous one that I mentioned, Enrage. This 80s vibe, this Eurovision vibe that the song has, even though it has heavier moments. That overall underlying vibe really sets this song apart from other songs. It really gives the song something different. Once again, Melissa's clean vocals, amazing. It's just she just gives the song a whole new level. And in this song, they added layers to her vocals, so that gave her voice a little bit of extra push. It gave it a little bit of extra thickness. It didn't really give the song heaviness from that perspective, because you're adding clean vocals on top of clean vocals, but it gave layers, it gave thickness, it gave more of a push. It made the song feel more robust, and from that perspective, I really like it. I also like they did that without having to use harsh vocals in that spot. Most of the times you would see a band have her sing in clean vocals and then have a male harsh vocals or her own harsh vocals on top of it. They didn't do that for added heaviness. They didn't do that. They just used two sets of clean vocals, one on top of the other. It gave the song that extra push, that extra layering that it really needed. The song is really dynamic. It's really different. It has heavy moments. It has more melodic moments. In the chorus, they have a mixture of harsh and clean vocals that really sets the chorus apart. It really makes the song feel different. And this is a song that really blends two elements. It really blends heaviness with melody, and it really feels like it's a song that's in a struggle for supremacy, to see which one of these two elements reigns supreme. I really feel like overall, while there's heaviness throughout, I really feel that this song really comes down to her clean vocals and that synthesizer 80s melody that it has. Those two elements to me are the main key ingredients of this song and really would set this song apart. Last but not least, Nothingness. Nothingness is much different from the previous two. This one almost felt like a pure symphonic metal song. It just had a very cinematic vibe to it, and more so because of the start of the song. It has the orchestra at the start of the song, the elements that they use, the symphonic elements at the start of the song, really created a picture, really created a cinematic picture around this song, and that set the song apart from everything else. It just gave the song this larger than life, this absolutely melodic, but yet with some heaviness to it, specifically from the drums. The drums really pick up the heaviness in this song. So this song to me really feels overall like a symphonic metal song. There are heavy moments in this song, almost to the point where you would say this is a symphonic death metal song. But to me, when you look at this song overall, when you're listening to this song from the beginning to the end, there's harsh vocals sprinkled in here and there, but when you look at this song from start to finish, it really plays as a symphonic metal song through and through. It has great melody. Obviously, there are some heavier moments to it, but overall, it has incredible melody, really cinematic in nature, really larger than life. It really has a lot of those elements that you get from symphonic metal songs, and in this song, they just turned the knob all the way to 11, because they not only incorporated a little bit of heavier moments to the song to give the song a little bit more extra, to make the song more robust, if you will, but overall, this is a song that really fills in the space. It's a powerful song, has a lot of momentum to it, great melodies, very melodic in nature, and the heavier parts of it really enhance the melodic. The fact that they sprinkled in heavier moments either by using harsh vocals or heavier drums really enhanced the melody that the overall song has, and it really enhanced the more melodic stretches of the song, made them feel even more beautiful, made them feel even more cinematic, made them feel even more symphonic. Alright guys, this is it from me. Rage of Light Imploder out March 29th on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, the singles, the cover, Twilight of the Thunder God. I want to hear from you. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.